Hello and welcome to A Note for God. If you're here, definitely tell me in the comments what you are enjoying about the Proverbs and also one of your favorite themes. Today is Proverbs 22. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Choose a good reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold. The rich and poor have this in common: the Lord made them both. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. True humility and fear of the Lord leads to riches, honor, and a long life. Corrupt people walk a thorny, treacherous road. Whoever values life will avoid it. Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. Those who plant injustice will harvest disaster, and their reign of terror will come to an end. Blessed are those who are generous because they feed the poor. Through Throw out the mockers, and fighting goes too. Quarrels and insults will disappear. Whoever loves a pure heart and gracious speech will have the king as a friend. The Lord preserves those with knowledge, but he ruins the plan of the treacherous. The lazy person claims, "There is a lion out there. If I go outside, I might get killed." The mouth of an immoral woman is a dangerous trap. Those who make the Lord angry will fall into it. A youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away. A person who gets ahead by oppressing the poor or by showering gifts on the rich will end in poverty. Listen to the words of the wise, apply your heart to my instruction, for it is good to keep these sayings in your heart and always ready on your lips. I am teaching you today, yes, you, so you will trust in the Lord. I have written 30 sayings for you, filled with advice and knowledge. In this way, you may know the truth and take an accurate report to those who sent you. Don't rob the poor just because you can, or exploit the needy in court, for the Lord is their defender. He will ruin anyone who ruins them. Don't befriend angry people or associate with hot tempered people, or you will learn to be like them and endanger your soul. Don't agree to guarantee another's person debt or put up security for someone else. If you can't pay it, even your bed will be snatched from under you. Don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary marker set up by the previous generations. Do you see any truly competent workers? They will serve kings rather than working for ordinary people. So, this one has a lot that I like. Um, Let's go to the beginning. Choose a good reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver and gold. Just having that good reputation, right? If you have a good reputation, people respect you, honor you, right? It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have a good reputation, you're a liar, you're greedy, like nobody really trusts you, right? So at that point, you kind of really have to think, right? Would I rather have a good reputation or have all these riches in the world that nobody really trusts me, right? um so I like that part, right? Choose a good reputation, over and over. Sometimes we might feel like, man, it's so much easier to do maybe what we think is the wrong thing because somebody has done us wrong. But you know what? God will always take care of us, right? The rich and the poor have this in common: the Lord made them both. I just love sometimes reading the Bible because some of these things just make you giggle and laugh, and you're like, see, if people will read the Bible more often, man, there's so much great things in here. Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. I think I see a lot this verse, especially in Christian groups of moms who have young kids. Like, it is our job as women of God, as Christian moms, to really instill in our children about God, about the Bible, taking them to church, listening to worship music, telling them what's right and wrong. What is the Bible saying, right? Because when you put that in your children at a young age, it's harder, I believe, for me, right? My kids are still young, 5 and 7. It's harder for them to kind of go. astray, right? Because they've been taught this is how we do things, right? And even let's just say they stray a little bit, it's like that, oh man, I gotta get back, right? This is not what I was taught, right? This is not what I was taught as a child. And I think for me is a little bit easier because I got saved, I want to say 3 years ago. So my children, my oldest was like three and a half, and my son was like a year and a half, right? So they have been brought up, right? Reading the Bible, listening to worship music, going to church, and talking about God, and always just going back to the Bible, right? It might be a little bit harder if you got saved and now your kid's a little bit older and or teenagers. But you know what? Just keep on telling them about God. Keep on telling them about the Bible. If they're at an age where you invite them to go to church, because they're older and they no longer live with you, I mean, just keep on saying it, right? Um, the next line, I did not highlight it, but I love it. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is a servant to the lender. You hear this a lot with Dave Ramsey's community, right? How we really shouldn't have so much debt, right? We are um, kingdom children of God, right? And having so much debt and living paycheck to paycheck, that weighs us down. And I feel that when that is all in your mind, like, how am I going to pay the bills? I have all this, like, you have no energy to deal with anything else. You have no energy to start your ministry or share your testimony, right? Because you're just, I feel like in a box, like, wow, how am I going to do this, right? So, this is where this scripture, I learned this from Dave Ramsey. If you haven't heard about Dave Ramsey, he's really good to getting your finances back in order. So definitely follow him if you have not. Um, I did not highlight this one, but the mouth of an immoral woman is a dangerous trap. That's so good, right? It's so good. I'm telling you, people should read the Bible more often. I'm teaching you today, yes, so you will trust in the Lord. Every single day, teach your children, right? Trust in God, right? Sometimes you may not have the answers, and you just say to your children, you have to talk to God. One of the things that I persist on teaching my children, I persist is because what I got saved when I was older, so I was like, I have no clue, is really praying and listening to God. So if they do something they weren't supposed to do, fighting or whatever, they're 5 and 7, I will say to them, go to the room and go talk to God and see what God tells you, right? And then they'll come back. And then they'll tell me, God said I shouldn't be doing this, to say sorry. Because I really want to train them to listen to the voice of God, because that is so important. Um, Man, that is so important. So definitely that's what I do. They come back, and it pretty much works, right? Don't rob the poor just because you can, or exploit the needy in court, for the Lord is their defender. He will ruin anyone who ruins them. Man, that is so powerful. I love that part, right? For the Lord is their defender. The Lord is our defender, right? He will ruin anyone who ruins them. You may have the power, right, to do certain things at a level, maybe exploiting court, like it says here, but at the end of the day, he will ruin anyone who ruins you, right? Again, I love that part. Again, don't forget to go back and reread, take some notes. Some of those themes, what are the themes that we see, right? We are seeing the theme a lot about immoral women. What is that about? And maybe even if when you have time, like, go back to the Proverbs and see, okay, what Proverbs is he talking about immoral women, right? Any words that you don't really know, look them up. Look them up and really dig deep into the different definitions, right? Definitely. Again, make sure you have your Blue Letter Bible app and go in there. There's different commentaries that I love because they go into detail. They break verse by verse, like literally line by line, and that's always amazing. But definitely see the theme, right? And look up stuff that you do not know. And if one particular scripture stands out, like for example, let me go back here. If this particular scripture, this line stands out, rewrite it on your notebook, right? Don't rob the poor just because you can, or exploit the needy in court. For the Lord is their defender. He will ruin anyone who ruins them. I mean, if that stands out, rewrite it again in your book. right? In your notebook. I have a notebook. So, definitely rewrite it. And again, today, the business of the day is Podia, my favorite. You can actually go to my store at anoteforgod.com, where I have my 5-day free daily devotional and my 30-day devotional for moms. What I love about Padilla is it's so easy to set up. The monthly membership that you have to pay is so cheap compared to other ones, right? I tried to get familiar with Kajabi. Number one, it was a little too expensive. And number two, it wasn't easy to figure out. Like it was just too hard, right? And I'm a person that pretty much learns things really quick, but it's like you have to go to this screen and then that screen. And it's like, this one literally walks you. Do you want to do a course or do you want to do a digital download? There's other stuff like what is it that you want to do? You click, you put the title, whatever. If you're going to do a course, you do your sections, description, upload, and then your price, right? And then it says, do you want to review it? Publish it, and you publish it, and it's there, right? It's so super easy. Again, the monthly membership for you to pay is super cheap compared to other programs like Kajabi, right? I think they charge like $120. But with Padilla, super affordable. If you have any questions, definitely comment below. The link to Padilla, my affiliate link, will be down in the description box. Again, what I love is that it's all right there, right? One of the most important things about marketing, having your own business, is collecting emails, right? So it collects emails for you, right? If you do a freebie, a $10 ebook, I don't know, whatever, it collects the emails as well, right? And as a business, that's important to collect emails because I don't know if you remember, a couple of months ago, Instagram and I think Facebook broke. They shut down. Who knows what happened? However, if you have your email list, that's gold, right? You can email, hey, if you didn't see my offer, if you didn't know Facebook, Instagram was down, follow me on my YouTube or something like that, right? So email is important. Again, everything's super easy. If you have questions, definitely comment below and look at my affiliate link in the description box. Again, thank you so much for watching Proverbs. I truly appreciate everybody. Don't forget that next month I will be starting Sisters on the Rise, a community for women that desire a closer relationship with God. Another thing, once I finish the Proverbs for the month of January, for the month of February, I forgot to add the slide in here, but for the month of February, I will be doing a 4-week series called "I'm Divorced, Now What?" A perspective from a Christian, right? There is so much to unpack just in that subject and just in that topic, right? There's so many things. A lot of people do not talk, and I have this personal experience, right? Man, there's so many things. All I have to say is that there's so many things people don't talk about because what I feel, what I notice is that people write down, I'm divorced, just like something in their checklist. Getting groceries, check. Picking up food, check. Getting divorced, check. And nobody really talks about how that affects a person, right? So that is coming up also in the month of February. So definitely check that out. And again, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. I truly appreciate it. I think I'm like 3, maybe 4 away from 100. So if you haven't done so, definitely subscribe. Thank you so much for listening to Proverbs 22. See you in Proverbs 23.